Right, call Allah Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakak, Qudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of Ruel. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this, wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. As you can see, this is a 9-minute thing. I'm not going to let it go on very long. I just want to make a point on, when you have eyes to see and ears to hear. And we'll open up with that before I play this. But if the Lord is giving you the Spirit, it is a beautiful thing, because now you can see things that went over our head no longer do. And when the Lord says in his scriptures that he has made Eve bare, he has made him bare. The entire world sees them for who they are, especially the least of the flock that is going to draw them out. Draw out everybody else, all right, to that Armageddon, or the third woe, okay, the valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of judgment, right, where he's going to plead, where the Lord is going to plead with them for his people. And that word plead goes into, well, you look it up, all right? I'm going to just tell you, it ain't saying, please let my people go, right? This is the omnipotent being with a son, right, the first of all spirits, who is Yahweh Shai, right, who the world ignorantly refers to as Jesus, all right? He is not asking anything. You look up into the word please, all right? Now, hold on, let me...
With us now, Scott.
Okay, let's go to Job, or Matthew. First of all, Matthew, and then Jeremiah 49 and 10. I want to front load the scriptures first. So this is Matthew 13, verse 5. Yeah, we can read 15. But the point's in 16 and 17. All right, for this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing. Their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and... Hold on, I'm already can tell what this is going to be. There we go. See with their eyes, here we go, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them, right? So the Lord doesn't want everybody to understand. That is why when Yahweh Shai walked the earth as a man, he spoke in parables, all right? And then when he got into privacy with his disciples and those, whom he discerned to be true believers, he further expounded. Verse 16, though, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Right? So what we see and what we hear was written aforetime, one for our learning and for our knowledge. And understand that the prophets didn't know, right? They were prophesying in part then, but the decoding came now, and I think that was a beautiful plan. That's a beautiful thing done by the Lord. What, like a master chess player. All right, so a lot of the things that the prophets saw that are written currently that we are currently reading, they didn't have a full understanding. The Lord just said, "Hey, write this down," or or look at this vision, write it down. And then they did as they were told, and now fast forward up until now, right, to the final captivity, things are being revealed. So when the scriptures run in and tell you, especially in the book of Daniel, shut up the book until the time of the end, we are here. Everything is being made manifest, and it is a beautiful thing to see. Beautiful yet a scary time. It's scary in the flesh, beautiful in the spirit. Jeremiah before, and also Job 5. So let me go to Jeremiah. Like I said, we're going to front load these babies right fast. What did I say? Jeremiah 49 and 10. 49. Straight to the point here. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Look, look, our twin brother. Yeah, because it's Jacob and Esau. They're not really twin, but, our brother, our closest relative. It's time. It's over, right? It's done. And the second Esdras tell you, he's the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And as he is trying to perfect his enterprise, he is trying to, realize this pseudo blessing, that they have. It's to no avail, right? And that is by way of the scriptures. The Lord said he would try, but the Lord also said he would fail. And we are witnessing it. what did I say? Job. We're going to go to Job because he's frustrating the enterprises of the wicked. Job 5. Yes, this is Job 5 and 12. Yeah, 12. I thought I wanted 11. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. But he saveth the poor from the sword. And who are the poor? The downtrodden, the sincere. All right, those of us who are listening and learning, preaching, teaching in sincerity and in truth. Prayerfully, I and you are of that number. All right, but he saveth the poor from the sword, but from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. All right, so the poor hath hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Now, I'm going to let this roll for a little bit, and we'll stop and commentate as need be. But I want to make a couple of points. All right, and we're going to stop when necessary because this is a very interesting thing to watch. And you too will pick up on it as well, because they're going to ask two distinct questions that they always ask, and it's almost like an initiation, or it's a check, like, are you a part of this? Are you with us? Or are you against us, kind of thing. But here we go.
Horton, editorial director of antiwar.com. Scott, appreciate you doing this. Do you think Israel has the right to do this and to defend itself?
Boom. There you go. There it is. And that is the initial point of the narrative control, right? And then they will move into the month of October and the day of the 7th, right? They're going to go to that. All of these things, they just keep repeating it as if these things have not been disproven already. Here we go.
And or do you think that this is just a bad idea?
Well, yeah, two separate questions. The way you framed it was launching an aggressive war is defending itself.
And make no mistake, he framed that the way it was supposed to be framed so he can just acquiesce. But dude here is like, nah, I ain't going for it. So, hey, man, kudos to him.
But that's just because you say it that way. In any other contest, of course, it's completely illegal. This is what Japan did to us at Pearl Harbor, the day of infamy, a surprise sneak attack against a country that wasn't attacking them. And so that was what was going on here. And the fact is, they were in the middle of negotiations. And the reporting now is that Trump was actually shining the Iranians on and was pretending to negotiate with them and was telling them...
Well, let's just insert a couple things.
See, now he wants to cut him off because he's telling too much truth. It does not fit the narrative that they set forward. Also, never trust thine enemy. All right, and I think these other heathen nations are catching on, cause like they never uphold any deals that they make ever.
It was Israel that was attacked on October 7th by an Iranian proxy and by Hezbollah. It was also Israel that was attacked by Iran. It was also U.S. troops that were attacked by Iran. Nevertheless, who in their right mind would allow someone, a regime that runs around chanting death to America, death to Israel, or if someone was running around chanting death to Scott Horton, would you want them to have a nuclear bomb?
Well, the thing of it is, as I'm sure you must know, as the CIA and the rest of the intelligence community concluded back in 2007, Iran stopped even researching into how to make a nuclear bomb after George Bush got rid of Saddam Hussein for them. They had no more need for a nuclear weapon at that time. They opened up their books, and everyone watching this knows that Netanyahu has said they're a few weeks away from a bomb for the last 20 years. They still don't have a single one. And in February, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, put out the threat assessment, the annual threat assessment. Everyone can read it at dni.gov. And it says that they have not made the decision to begin to pursue a nuclear weapon.
So you see, one comes with fact. The dude on the right, and I think it's actually kind of cool that the one on the right is actually speaking some truth and coming up with actual tangible evidence, quoting things that can be researched and looked into. And the one on the left is just over talking him, trying to cut him off and pushing a narrative that just simply isn't true. And he's on the left, right? So I think that that's pretty cool symbolism. Also, the reporter's mic is a little bit louder than the man he's interviewing on the right with the beard. His mic is kind of turned down, so it's easy for the reporter to overtalk him. These are little things that you must pay attention to. And I think that all of it, this entire exchange is very interesting, which you can go look up. It's right here on the screen. You can look at the rest of it. I'm not going to play all 9 minutes. I just want to grab, and cover a couple of things really quick. And also, you see, this devil projects. They think that just because they have, their mind is on nothing but stealing, killing, and destroying, they think that everyone else that possesses the same potential or arsenal that they do will do the same thing. Also, they understand they've done many horrendous things to nations around the world, right? Habakkuk 2:5, it tells you his soul that is in him is not lifted up right, roughly paraphrased. He heapeth unto him all people. He's never satisfied, right? He enlarged himself as hell. He everywhere he goes, stealing, killing, destroying. And after he's done his dirt, after he's done his he's completed his violent takeover for no reason, then it's about, we should all get along with me at the top. No, these nations are no longer, right? The Lord is putting a spirit on these nations to no longer accept that. All right, that little season in the book of Revelation, I'm quoting a lot of scriptures here. That little because I'm driving. The little season in the book of Revelation shows you that we're nearing the end of that, right? All right, I believe that's 17 or 12. 17. Go look it up.
Think that the Israelis have better intelligence? Come on.
No. Look, there's nothing saying that late Israeli claims of recent advancement are true. No one else is confirming that at all. In fact, what they had all along, Leland, was a latent nuclear deterrent. It's the same as Germany or Japan or Brazil, where they had shown that they had perfected the fuel cycle. They know how to make nuclear weapons fuel, but they're not making it. And so what has happened here is, with this attack, I know you want to hoist up your mission accomplished banner, but with this attack, they're actually more likely to pursue nuclear weapons now, whereas before they actually were not pursuing
Germany
them.
And Brazil.
Right, because again, roughly paraphrased, from the book of Revelation, he was given power to take peace from the earth. That one of those horses was given power to take peace from the earth. And as you can see, everywhere that they interject themselves and turn into a cancer, there's war, there's skirmishes, there's no harmony. And any invention, anything that comes up is about death and destruction, never furthering or working in harmony with the earth, just to destroy people, destroy plants, destroy the air, destroy the animals, destroy the soil.
Your begged question in your question.
Germany and Brazil, few things, don't run around chanting death to America or death to Israel. For that matter,
I'm sorry to keep stopping it. And these countries do chant that, but why? They never address why these countries say that. They wouldn't have a problem if there wasn't a problem created by the aggressor who wants to play the victim, right? Why do these countries chant that? Why? Look, I don't remember the operation, but look into how the U.S. interfered in Iran. I think it was either in the 40s or the 60s, but they overthrew an same old tricks. The old dog with the same old tricks. All right, and the difference now is you have the availability to get news in a millisecond on this supercomputer that is in your pocket, known as your phone. All right, this ain't the early 2000s. This ain't the 80s. This ain't the 70s, where they can, covertly do things and control the narrative, and people just, have a wool over their eyes. I'm gonna try to let this play for another couple of minutes, and then that'll be the video.
Making nuclear weapons either.
What I'm trying to figure out is why destabilizing a regime that has made its sole mission to destroy Israel, and for that matter to destroy the United States, why that would be a bad thing.
Well, George W. Bush told Ehud Olmert absolutely not back in 2007 because the Pentagon told him that it would be too reckless, that Iran is not Iraq, which was already bad enough and way worse than Bush thought it was going to be, and that Iran would not be a pushover and that they would have escalation dominance in the region, that they could threaten our soldiers in Iraq, which we still have thousands of soldiers in Iraq. We also have tens of thousands, as you just show on your map there, in Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, and Saudi. $1 trillion worth of economic targets.
Scott, I understand all that.
They can close the Straits of Hormuz. They can close the Straits of Hormuz.
I understand all the bad things that can happen. I understand all the bad things that can happen. This is the exact same things that the Iranians were doing. Okay, they were attacking U.S. soldiers. The problem is, once Iran gets a nuclear bomb, there were more than 150 attacks by Iranian proxies against U.S. interests during the Biden administration. We just all conveniently forgot about it. But I continue. The issue
again, why did they do that in the first place? And that's what this devil, the same spirit as I've wounded a man to my hurt. Lamech. I have wounded a man to my hurt, right? The first trap song ever created is recorded right there in the scriptures in the book of Genesis, right? He does the initial attack, and then when the offended party retaliates, they turn the camera and say, look at what these savages and terrorists are doing. How dare they defend themselves? You're supposed to just lay down and take it. Boy. Hey, it's going to be hell for y'all. Good grief.
Here, and the reason the world is safer is because once Iran got a nuclear bomb or was beyond the point of no return, they could act with absolute impunity. They could do all the bad things you said, and the world couldn't do anything to them because they had a nuclear bomb.
Here's the thing of it. We had a deal before
that they kept breaking.
That they were not in violation of, that Donald Trump tore up at Netanyahu's behest in 2018. Under that deal,
why do you hate Benjamin Netanyahu so much?
And here we go. There's the other one. You start dropping facts, and now, why do you hate them? Are you anti, right? Are you anti S word? Do you hate the J's? Do you think that the H word was okay? And like, where's all this coming from? Motherfucker, you asked me the question. I'm answering with facts, with statistics, with tangible evidence that the people can go look up. What are you talking? You see? Man, all right, this is my last stop, okay? I'm gonna let it play for about another 30 or 45 seconds, and that'll be the video, man. But this is my last pause. So with that being said, I truly pray that you're edified. Shalom.
If they decided to break out and try to create a nuclear weapon, it would have taken them at least a year to get enough fissile material to even make one, much less complete the process of making one. That was the deal Trump tore up. At that time, any enriched uranium... Why don't you let me finish? Anytime they enrich uranium...
Because half of the things you're saying isn't true and the other half are wrong.
France, they had no stockpile of enriched uranium because they shipped it all out to France to be made into fuel rods and then be shipped back into the country under the old deal. It was after Trump withdrew from the deal at Netanyahu's behest that they then began to stockpile the enriched uranium that you're referring to that makes them that much closer to the bomb. Trump could have just got back in the deal and called it the Trump deal instead of the Obama deal, and all of this would have been fine.
It was a bad deal to begin with. I still don't understand why you believe that we should allow a country that has shown a willingness to launch terror attacks on the United States, kill Americans, launch and support terrorists around the world and attack our allies. Why even take the risk that they could possibly get a nuclear bomb?
That's funny, I wonder how you think that after Iraq and Somalia and Libya and Mali and Syria and Ukraine and Afghanistan, that the United States of America ought to be in charge of bombing countries, changing their regimes, fixing anything, especially in the Middle East.
Boom.